This turkey is rock solid. And you should never cook a frozen bird. You can defrost in the refrigerator, just make sure it's on a sheet tray. But depending on the size of your turkey, that can take up to a week. That takes a lot of planning ahead. Here's a faster method that takes hours, not days. To start, I'm gonna use a large pot and keep the turkey in its packaging. Ooh, it's so heavy. And for the best results, place it in breast side down. Now just fill the pot with cool water until it's completely submerged. It may be tempting, but don't use hot water. Cool water is gonna be best. If your turkey floats, you wanna make sure to weigh it down. I'm just using a can and a baking dish. If you don't have a pot big enough, you can do this right in the sink. Or you can use a cooler. Just make sure to disinfect it afterwards. Change the water every 30 minutes. This will help speed up the process. To completely defrost a frozen turkey, it's gonna take about 30 minutes per pound. And that's a heck of a lot quicker than the fridge method. And that's all it takes out of the pot, just drying it off, and we have a nice, soft turkey ready to go. Now just keep it in the refrigerator until you're ready to roast. A traditional wet brine involves a large pot, lots of salt to get your bird nice and juicy. The problem is you need something like a cooler to keep it cold while it brines. The wet brine process is messy and takes a long time. I'm gonna show you how to eliminate those messy steps and extra equipment, and we're gonna do a dry brine. A dry brine takes less steps, less time, and you get better results. You really need only one ingredient, and that's coarse, kosher salt. First, I'm gonna put my thawed turkey on a sheet tray with a baking rack. I picked a beautiful bird. Just give it a pat dry inside and out. This is a good time to trim away any excess fat and skin. And wash your hands throughout the process. This couldn't get any easier. I have some salt in a bowl, and you just liberally season. Get everywhere, all around the outside and on the inside. You can massage some of that salt into the skin. You can also salt underneath. Just be very careful not to rip the skin. The salt's gonna draw out moisture from the turkey, but then the meat's gonna reabsorb it, so you'll have flavorful, moist turkey all throughout. Sometimes the right way is just to get your hands dirty. You'll need about 3 to 4 tablespoons of salt, a little more if you have a big bird. Dry brining like this will give you a crispier skin than that wet brine. But for crispier skin, the secret is baking powder. This process isn't just for turkey. You can do this with chicken and mini cuts of meat. Let this sit in the refrigerator uncovered for 6 hours or up to overnight. Rests well, my bird. Roasting a whole turkey takes forever. But I'm gonna show you a cooking method to cut your cooking time in half. I need to put the turkey on my cutting board, breast side down. Carefully cut the backbone out of the turkey. For this, you need a really good pair of kitchen shears. Be patient, you'll need to find the joints to cut through. Now I'm gonna remove the backbone completely and cut down the other side. It's really okay to take your time doing this. It's not difficult, just take some precision. And that's step 1, removing the backbone. Now flip the turkey over. Now you need to apply a lot of pressure to the breastbone so it snaps and lays flat. I have a baking sheet with a baking rack. My turkey needs to go right on there. You want to position everything so it fits nicely on the rack. The legs and thighs on the side, the breast in the middle, and these wingtips tucked back. Make sure to leave your turkey out at room temperature for at least an hour before roasting. Gonna brush the skin with a little bit of oil. This will help with color and to get that skin crispy. This turkey's already been seasoned and dry brined, so it's ready for the oven. In we go. Right into the center of the oven. Because that turkey's laying flat, it'll cook a lot faster and more evenly. It's a good idea to rotate and tent the turkey for even browning. Just gonna tent our skin so it doesn't get too crispy before the inside gets done. This turkey looks amazing. You know it's done when the thigh meat reads 180 and the breast meat hits 170. And that's how you roast a turkey in half the time. Definitely a problem solved. You don't want to go psycho and Hitchcock your spatchcock. You spent all this work roasting the perfect turkey, so you don't want to mangle it before you serve it. Here's how to carve and serve a roasted turkey. When it comes to turkey, kitchen scissors are a necessary tool. After it comes out of the oven, let your turkey rest at least 20 minutes before carving. I'm gonna start by removing the dark meat. Whether whole roasted turkey or spatchcock, this process is basically the same. Now I'm gonna separate the thigh from the leg. Just run your knife down the center and look for the joint in between. Next, remove those wings. Shears are great because they're a little bit safer, but you still want to be careful. Now remove the breast meat in one big piece. Try to keep that skin intact. Just gonna go right down the center, then along the bottom. This will come off in one big piece. I'm gonna slice the breast up so every piece gets a little bit of this crispy skin. You don't need a traditional serving platter, you can get creative. There are no rules here, just do what looks good to you. Then you can dress your platter with herbs, fruit, citrus, a little bit goes a long way. Voila, dinner is served.